I am super excited for today's tutorial because we will be doing a 0.10 and 0.12 classic set on my client. And I'll be walking you through how I like to assess all of her features so we can give her a set that is tailored to her. Before beginning any full set, I always do a thorough eye assessment, and the things that I like to take into consideration are the eye shape, the eye crease, the eye plane, the space between the eyebrows, and of course, the lashes themselves. Sometimes the face shape can be considered, but I don't often worry about the face shape because the eyes are our first priority. So let's start by assessing her eye shape. My client Marilyn has a lot of lift in the middle of her eyes, but the inner and outer corners dramatically descend. Because her eye shape is so lifted in the middle, I don't want to accentuate that area by putting my longest lengths there. Instead, I want to draw emphasis to the outer corner of the eye to create balance. However, since her outer corner dips down very dramatically, if we did a cat eye map on her by placing our longest lengths on the outer corner, those extensions are going to swoop down and make the eyes look like they're sleepy and droopy on the outer corners, which we do not want. Instead, I'm going to opt out for a squirrel eye map, also known as a kitten eye, and place my longest lengths just off center from the middle of the eye, often where the arch of the brow is. If you're ever not sure what map to do on your client, a squirrel eye map is often the most suitable for any client. Personally, it's one of my favorites because it just looks so good on everybody. Next, I'm going to look at the space between her brows and her lash line. This is important because this will help us determine what lengths we want to use. Since Marilyn does have quite a lot of space, I could go up in length, but we are going for more of a natural result today. So the longest length I'm going to use will be a 12 millimeter. And let's just take a look at the crazy amount of space she has at the arch of her brow. By doing a squirrel eye map, it's really gonna flow with the shape of her brows and just really bring the set together nicely. Now let's take a look at her eye crease. And this is an important thing to look at too, because some clients have a protruding brow bone, meaning that their eyes are more deep set. If we don't take this into consideration and use extreme curls such as D or DD, the extensions can curl back into the eye crease and it will be a little uncomfortable for your client. So to avoid that, you can take a look from the side of your client and ask them to look straight ahead to see where the eyes sit. Marilyn does not have deep set eyes, so although I could probably get away with using a D curl, I'm going to stick to softer curls on her because stronger curls mean more lift, and we are not looking to lift the eyes even more than they already are. Instead, we are going to elongate them. And just as a quick disclaimer, I'm not saying that you can't use stronger curls on round-eyed clients. You absolutely can, but more often than not, I personally prefer to use weaker curls to help elongate the eyes and avoid making them look more open. Now let's take a look at her eye plane. By determining how the eye tilts, we can individualize our sets even further. Imagine drawing a line from the inner corner to the outer corner of the eye. If the outer corner sits higher than the inner corner, it would be an upturned eye plane. These clients most often suit longer lengths on the very outer corner because it's much harder to emphasize a downward tilt. On the other hand, if you have a client with a descending eye plane, meaning the outer corner of the eye sits lower than the inner corner, then we need to be very strategic with where we place our lengths and curls to avoid emphasizing the downward tilt even more. In Marilyn's case, she has a level eye plane, so although the outer corner does not descend, we still need to take caution when styling her because we can still droop the eyes if we aren't careful. So we're going to bump up our curl to a CC where the eye begins to tilt downwards so we can keep that area looking lifted. So we're going to mark our emphasis area at the arch of her brows using 12 millimeters. Then we're going to quickly drop our lengths down to a 9 millimeter on the outer corner. Now that we have fully assessed the eyes, let's take a quick look at the amount of layers she has. To do this, I asked Marilyn to close her eyes. Then using my finger, I gently lifted her lid ever so slightly, and I went back and forth just to see how many layers she has in each area. I have lashed Marilyn before in the past, and I know that her lashes are definitely on the weaker side. So I'm going to be cautious with my diameters so that I don't give her a set that feels too heavy. I'm going to use 0.10 and 0.12 on her today, which sounds pretty natural, but we were really surprised by the outcome, and I think you will be too, because the set looked very noticeable and just gave her the perfect enhancement for her eyes. It's easy to think that if you use higher dimensions and diameters on a client that you're going to get a very impactful result. But really, if you take the time to really style out your client and give them a set that will suit them and their features, the result will still be quite impactful, and we were super thrilled on how today's set turned out. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this one. Thanks for watching.